Greetings, dear listeners. I'd like to share with you a most interesting email I received from a listener who wishes to remain anonymous. The email reads as follows. Hey Warren, I seem to recall that you made a video about strange drones a long time ago. Well, I'd like to share the following experience with you. This happened in a park north of us. My buddies and me decided to go camping for the weekend for the first time in 2 years. It was still pretty chilly and damp, but we were just happy to be outside again. In order to keep warm, we built up a good fire and were sitting around, basking in it, smoking and enjoying a few pops, when someone first noticed the light. It was Greg that noticed it first. A small ball of greenish-blue light, about the size of a basketball, hovering near the top of a nearby pine tree. Hovering, but not motionless. We could see it moving around slowly, but it was obviously moving. "What the hell is that?" he said. "Is somebody shining a light or something? It looks like a flashlight beam, eh?" "No," I said. "It looks like a solid object. It doesn't change shape, and when it goes behind the tree, you can see the branches. That is, you can see the outline of the dark branches against the ball of solid light." We sat and watched it in silence. We were all so puzzled that everyone stopped talking. Watched it in silence as it moved slowly around the trees, as if it was studying them. I think we all had the same thought. It was intelligently directed. We watched it for around 5 to 7 minutes. Then, some bright eyes, I think it was Charlie, decided to shine the beam from a powerful flashlight at it, which caused it to disappear. And I mean disappeared, although we couldn't tell from our perspective if it had simply vanished or flown off at supersonic speed. After giving Charlie shit, we talked over what we had seen and concluded that it seemed to know we were observing it. And when it did notice us watching it, it took off. Spooky. We watched for it over the next few hours to see if it would come back, but it didn't. So we eventually gave up and hit the sleeping bags. I was sharing a tent with Greg, and in the middle of the night, he shook me awake and whispered in my ear, "There's something outside." I instinctively went for my phone to check the time, but he restrained me, adding, "It's 3 a.m. So we lay in the tent, listening intently. I strained my ears, listening for footsteps, but hearing nothing. But I could see light, a greenish blue light, which seemed to be hovering and slowly moving around us, moving around our tent. "It's that light," I whispered. "It's returned. It's outside the tent." "What's it doing?" Greg whispered back. "Only one way to find out." And so I stuck my head out of the tent and was instantly blinded by a violent, flashing strobe. Green, blue, white, green, blue, white, green, blue, white. The most intense white light. It left me sightless. Greg was looking, or trying to look over my shoulder. He heard something click, and the light shot away in the night, vanishing in seconds. I was rolling around and roaring around on the floor of the tent, still blind from the intense light, and in agony. and for a few minutes worried that I had been blinded permanently. But eventually my sight returned, although my eyes remained red and swollen all weekend. When we got back to town, I went to the doctors, who told me I had conjunctivitis. Conjunctivitis. Pink eye. I'm okay now. We talked about what we had seen all that weekend. I guess you could say we were droning on. LOL. But we all agreed that the thing appeared to be intelligently directed and appeared to be exploring its surroundings to do what? Take pictures or take some kind of readings or measurements? This made us naturally think a drone. A drone. Which begs the question, if it was a drone, who sent it? Aliens? Some human agency? Or just some kids fooling around and spying on people? The speed at which it moved leads me to think it was of extraterrestrial origin, alien origin. Warren, I remember you made a video a while back in which you suggested that UFOs are really drones sent to study us from somewhere out there. So, do you think we were droned by aliens? But what do you think, dear listeners? I'm actually more interested in your thoughts and opinions. What was it these men encountered? Some sort of alien probe? A drone from some authority or government body conducting surveillance? Or just some kids messing around? Share your comments below and stay safe. Stay subscribed. Ring the bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. If this is your first visit to my channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Warren, and I write and tell original ghost stories and original horror stories featuring such cryptids as the Night Floaters, werewolves, and the Black-Eyed Children. So again, please consider subscribing. Please help me to reach my goal of 2,500 subs in 2022. Till midnight. Cheers. Pictures used in today's video, courtesy of Pix here, that's PX here, while the music was that classic, Lightless Dawn, by that patron of the internet, Kevin MacLeod.